the important topics that we are going to discuss now is ALM is for test management, test case management. I remember if you want to execute test case, like you have written a lot of test cases, right? Those test cases, if you want to execute manually, how do you execute? So that is where ALM is helpful. So what will you do, Nazmul, right? You will have to, let me bring this, you will have to create a request where I'll show you where you will be creating this request. Let me, give me 1 second. So I think I have something. Yeah, go back, manual testing and ALM. So if you follow this link, I'll be sending you this link, okay? And then actually not this, so if you go to Google, right, and then you will be, okay, register ALM trial version, right? You search for it, right? QC, MicroFocus, call center, enterprise, hold on, resist, actually download micro focus ALM trial version. Let me see, MicroFocus, yeah. If you say download MicroFocus ALM trial version, and then can you see that call center, call management, okay. If you go there, the first link, try now, right? Try now. Try now. If you go there, and then QC Express 30-day free edition up to 5 users. QC community, call center on premise, free edition up to 5 users, right? 30-day trial, 20 concurrent users. Okay, hold on. Let me just do this. Try ALM Octane. ALM Octane, right? Can you see this? Try ALM Octane. Click on this. Try ALM Octane. Yeah, ALM Octane. And then you supply your information here. Your company, you say home. Job title, you say learner. And then you submit this form, and then they will send you email once it is ready. Are you sharing your screen? Oh, I'm not sharing. Okay, let me share. I see. So I'm having a little bit problem. It seems sharing screen, but let me, Nazgul, let me do this. Let me log out from Skype and log back, because sometimes I see that type of issue. Sharing seems, okay, let me see in another way if I can share. Let me call you back. Okay, now I can share. Now can you see my screen, Nazmul? So when you type ALM Octane, right, you will get this. Let me send you this message link here in the chat. So after this class, you will be registering for that. And then it will take probably a couple of days for them to approve it. Mhm. Yeah, it might take a couple of days here to approve it. Okay. Yeah. These are costly software. So once they will be approving in your email, if you go to your email, right? Let's say gmail.com. If I go to my email, um, they send me something like this. So if you see that ALM, where is my ALM? Can you see MicroFocus ALM Octane? Right? You'll receive an email from MicroFocus. So I already confirmed my email, and then first of all, when you are registering, they will be asking first confirm your email. You will be getting an email, you will be clicking on it to confirm, and then once it is confirmed, then they will be start working on your creating your software. Okay. Once it will be done, it will take a couple of days. First of all, you will have to confirm your email, and then they will be creating your Octane, and then you come here and click launch. So over there, once that is created, then you will be able to use it for a certain amount of time. Now you will see that, right, in this ALM Octane, here if you go to this, right, you have different module. People use for managing requirements, backlog, right, quality. Basically, you will be using the quality. Normally, backlog or requirements from your team, there will be requirement people, there will be BAs, system analysts, right? You will be inputting all of this backlog and requirements. You will be doing the quality module. Okay. Now let's say that, Nazmol, if you come here in the backlog module, right? Let's say that I'm going to add a backlog. So here um, in the backlog, right? If I come here, yeah, this video is I'm recording this video. Okay. Backlog and epics feature backlog items, right? Can you see? Can you see I'm going to add a backlog here. Let's say that, okay, this backlog is about if I remember that in I supplied you a requirement, test requirement, that I'll be supplying it to you again today. So this is the requirement, right? From Mercury Tools, right? So from this requirement, let's say I'm creating a backlog item on this. Let me see if I have it here somewhere. No. Okay. So I put it in Excel. So let me just copy. There will be where okay. Let's say that up to this I'm creating a backlog item. Now if you go to your application name, let's say that new tools homepage. I'm creating a backlog. Okay, new tools homepage, and then feature backlog and release, right? You can create release. I have created a release. You can also create release. I'm putting it under a particular release. Okay. You can say what sprint is that. Let's say I'm going to say it is for sprint 1. Remember we discussed sprint in agile software development methodology, right? Do you remember? Yeah, it's in Scrum a little bit more intense. There are people like there will be some people who will be controlling the work. We will discuss it in another class, but in this we are assigning this one to a particular release and particular sprint, and then I'm going to say add. Okay, so I have added a backlog item here. Now if you go to your module and then if you go to your test, right? Now let's say that you are going to add a manual test case. Okay, so let's say that the manual test case is on that one. Remember, you did some automation on this newtools.demoaut.com, right? You go to this website and then you input your user ID and password and click on sign in. If your login is successful, you will see home page. If your login is not successful, it will say the login is not successful, right? Okay. Now, if you come here in the quality, let me add a manual test case. So the name of the test case, let's say new tours login, right? And then type, you can select a type end-to-end regression. Let's say this is a regression test case as well. And then you come here, backlog coverage, right? Remember, we have if you have created a backlog properly, then you will be able to associate this test case with a backlog. I think we didn't have any backlog associated with this sprint or with this release, so we probably will not. Let me see if I have any backlog. I do not have any backlog, is not associated with this. So application module, if there is any module they have associated created, it will be appearing here. And then you put, okay, this, what is this test case about, right? Let's put this test case is to verify the login functionality, right? Then you say add and edit. Now can you see here, the first step is already there, right? What is the first step? Open browser and navigate this URL, right? And then add a validation step. What is the validation step? Page will be loaded with login text boxes, for example, right? And then add a new step. Input user ID or I'm writing the test case. And then input username. What is the validation step? Username will be displayed in the text box. Okay, and then add a new step. Input password. Add a validation step, right? Password will be displayed as encrypted, right? You come step 7, click on sign in button, right? So login successful. Oh, here this will be a validation step. Login successful message will be displayed. You got it? Now you save it. Now you go back to your that is the test case, right? You go to your test module again, and then you have this test case, right? Can you see new tools login, right? Let's say you want to run this test case. How will you run it? Click on run. Now if you want to name anything on this run, if you want to put a milestone or anything, all of this thing you can select here. If there is a milestone or if there is a sprint, for which sprint you are running it, right? What release you say let's run. Now you'll see, like when the application is ready, then you execute the test case manually, right? So you come here and then can you see that you get this run screen, right? Now What is the first step? Open browser and navigate to newtools.demo.aot.com, right? So when you open this application, right, you see it is loaded with the login features, right? Now you go to your test execution. So page will be loaded with login text boxes. It is true, we got it, right? So you click here, this step is passed. You got it? Then input a username. Let's say you come here in the application, input a username. Let's say username 1, or let's say we are putting a username like tester 1, right? So what is our validation step on that? Input a username. Username will be displayed in the text box. So username is displayed in the text box. Now let's say this is passed, and then input a password, and password will be displayed as encrypted, right? So let's go there. Input a password there. Let's say test123. Password will be displayed as encrypted, right? Is it encrypted or not? It is encrypted. Now you go there. This step is passed as well. Yeah, manual testing. That is how they do manual testing. That's just update the steps here manually. And then password will be displayed. Logins. So the next step is click on sign in. Can you see that this step is not properly written? It should be step 7, right? But that's fine. We know that it is not properly written. Click on sign in button. Once you click in sign in button here in the application, it should take you to the login successful, but we didn't get the login successful, right? So let's say that I'm going to say here that it is failed, right? We got it. And I'm going to say that I was not able to log in by a valid credential. And what credential you have used? Username. Let's say tester1. Password. Let's say p12345, right? Then let's say you want to report a defect, right? Can you see this defect? Click on add a defect. Now what will be the defect, right? Defect name login failed for valid credential. Okay, and then what is the backlog? If it is like if you have if they have already created the backlog, okay, for login this backlog for this, you will be able to associate a backlog with it. Backlog means requirement. You got it? Okay, but we do not have anything here. What is the severity? If login is not working, it will be severity will be high, right? Very high, right? And then what is the application? If the application there will be module, you select a module. You do not have any module, right? And the if story wise, if you want to associate it with a particular story, you click on here. And if you want to associate it with the release, you associate it with here. And defect type, right? Let's say pre-release. Okay, environment, which environment? Test, pre-production. Remember we have discussed production QA. It is in the QA, let's say, right? And then description, right? So let's say that tried with the following valid login credentials and my login didn't work, right? What is the login credential? Let's say username tester1, and then password, let's say 12345, right? Okay, and then you can you see task to regenerate? You put the step by step the way there will be, like you will have to provide the step to regenerate it. what is the steps? Number one, navigate to new tools.demo.out.com, right? Next step, input. Yeah, how to reproduce the bug. Input following credential, right? What are the credentials? Right, username, password, right? Okay, and then next step, number 3, click on sign in. Okay, now that's all. That's how they will be recreating, right? Now can you see that in that part, can you see um, you can do insert image, you can insert image, right? What do you do in this application, right? When you click on sign in, you got this window, right? What you do, get your snipping tool, and then when you submitted your user ID and password, you got this window, right? Take a screenshot, and then over there in your, just save this screenshot somewhere. Let's say that ALM, let's say failed login error message. Okay, now you go there in your ALM, and where am I keyboarding the part here, right? So here you can, let me see if I can put that. Yeah, I can put that error message here. Can you see that the message that I got? Okay, so also like how to okay, now click on add, or if you want to insert any further image, you can insert by clicking here. If you click on there, you will be able to, oh, actually inside you can browse. Can you see? Browse to your hard drive. Does it make sense? Okay, I do not need to insert anymore, so I'm going to say add. Okay, now my execution is done on this test case, right? Click on stop executing. Now if you come here, Nazmul, with your let's say test, right? This is your test, right? And if you look at this is your actually not this. Let me go back. If you come here, what is the test case? New tools login. This is the one that you have executed. It is failed, right? Okay, and then if you come here, we have executed it, and then you will see if you come to runs, right? Can you see you have executed it by whom? By me, and it is failed, and then you will be able to see in sprint 1, right? Can you see this is the test run, right? Click on the test run. I want to log in by so can you see I wasn't able to we are able to see our comments, everything. And can you see there is a one defect, and then can you see the defect long is 2003. Go there and you will be able to see the defect that you have reported. Isn't it cool? Like how this testing process works, that like overall in terms of tool, how they manage testing. Very straightforward. It's not complicated. It's very straightforward. You just need to navigate through. This is the thing. If you can explain in your interview, Nazmum, remember that will be the real help. Got it? Now you have practically used ALM, right? So what you will have to do, I sent you that link, create the registration, and then create the registration, and then you do your once it is approved, go, and let's say that sometimes you will see if you want to do something, let's say you do not know, right? So what you do, how to write test cases ALM Octane. If you search for it, you will get a lot of help. You will get a lot of help. Can you see create manual test? You get this admin help, right? And then you might be need, okay, how to create a release in ALM Octane. If you, let's say you are not able to move forward for something, right? If you write test case, you will not be able to execute it until you are creating a release. So how to create release in ALM Octane, right? See, there are a lot of help available. Set up a release. You go there and follow the steps. All the helps are there. You got it? So you create that. I'll be sending you this recording. I hope that you will be able to practice a lot on these two topics, UFT and this ALM, and it will be really helpful for you.
Gotcha. I was gonna ask you like about like some interview questions.
Uh-huh.
Some questions that I'm not sure of.
We will talk about it shortly. Before I go for that, let me show you one further thing as well. So let's say that test, right? At this, you have this 3 tests, right? Now, if you want to execute, let's say you have 100 test cases. If you want to execute them, how do you do that? Can you see? You can select them all by here, right? And click on run. And then you give a name. Let's say that regression run 01 25 2020. That's run, right? So how many test cases I have executed? I have 3 test cases, right? Can you see all of them one by one? Can you see 1 out of 3? So you execute mark pass fill, mark pass fill, mark pass fill. If you have to report a defect, you report defect at the end and then go for the next one, right? Execute this, go for the next one. In that way, if you have 100 test case, you will be able to execute all of them at a time.
If I get a job like only manual testing,
Uh-huh.
like that's possible.
Yeah.
This is what I'll be doing.
That is what you will be doing. Lot of people start their career as a manual tester, and this is what they do. It's very easy. Okay. Now, so let me stop this recording and then we will be discussing the further topics. First of all, let me stop this recording as well. It was a long session today, but hopefully it was helpful for you.